Good evening, gamers.
No, it's not good evening, Joe.
Well, it's not morning.
It's what did they say? Never mind, I forget it.
Alrighty. If you're not gonna remember the joke, then don't even start it.
No, that's just that prefacing the show. That's how this is gonna go.
This is gonna be an interesting episode. All right, everybody, welcome to the What I'm Playing Now. Episode 9 is what we are currently on. We are almost in double digits, Greg.
Yeah, we would have been double digits this week, but
yeah, had we not skipped last week, that was kind of well, it was kind of both our faults because I missed Monday and then you weren't feeling good Tuesday. I wasn't feeling good Wednesday, so we sit through it. We probably could have done it Thursday, but by then I was like, I don't even really want. Let's just skip last week. It was just a hell week. So, my name is.
Isn't it weird though? Like, it's kind of like the more we go into the later part of the week, the more lethargic we get about this. Or is it just like general lethargicism? Period.
I think it's just general period. I think it's just I get wrapped up so much in games that I just don't even want to stop playing. To even do a podcast towards the end of the week.
Fuck it, whatever. That's your dedication, Joe.
I know. My name is Joe Luzzi, and with me is Greg Martin, my co-host in the What I'm Playing Now podcast.
Formerly known as...
I am the gamer formerly known as... Oh... You can find us at our website, whatimplayingnow.com. Hit us up on email, whatimplayingnow@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, at whatimplayingnow. And we're jumping right into the news.
Yes, because this is going to be the biggest show ever.
Because we have a shitload of news from the past couple of weeks. I think some of these will go pretty quick. Like the first couple, I think will go pretty fast.
Yeah.
So 2K Games... they do a lot of sports games as well as many other things, but they are well known for a lot of their sports games. They actually pulled their MLB 2K game offline. They're not renewing their license, and they're not producing another one for next year.
Oh.
So you would think that there isn't going to be a baseball game next year, but there is a story that I think I have a link to that I did not put in the notes for you.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
Because I just thought of it right before we started this thing. Major League Baseball has taken their matters into their own hands, and they're returning with RBI Baseball 14. Do you remember RBI Baseball back on the NES?
Oh, do I remember RBI Baseball, man? That old Tenjin cartridge. I fucking love that game.
Yes.
That was the greatest. That was the single greatest baseball game aside from Bases Loaded. From Jaleco, or what the hell?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I would probably agree with you on this so far.
RBI, but RBI Baseball killed Bases Loaded, hands down, dude. Hands down, killed that game.
So Major League Baseball is actually going to be producing another RBI Baseball 14. It's coming spring 2014.
Well, okay, you said 14. I'm thinking, what the fuck happened between 3 and 14? And then I'm like, oh wait, no, idiot, it's 2014.
Yes, it is. You need to put a little more coffee in your mug there, buddy.
I'm already below 2/3, man. This ain't good.
This is bad. So, I don't know. That should be pretty interesting if they bring out another RBI Baseball and how it's actually going to be. I'm really interested to see if they try to make this thing. I mean, it says current and next-gen consoles and mobile devices, so I'm really interested to see if the graphics are going to be similar to like 2K game graphics, where it's almost like ultra-realistic, or if they're going to go something just like old school. I don't know.
I want an RBI Baseball game that was like RBI Baseball 3. It needs to look the same and play the same. If it doesn't look the same, I'm not interested.
And wouldn't that be kind of cool if they actually did that? Although I highly doubt if they will. But
it's going to be like full 3D where you can see the sweat dripping down the guy's crotch if you get the angle right with the camera. It's going to be that kind of stuff. Not,
although they could put a mode in the game where you can play the old 8-bit game.
Oh.
What if they did that? Because I mean, there's been games that they've released recently that they've actually done in HD, and then you hit a button and it takes you back to old school style.
Dude, just take my money now.
Like the Monkey Island game back. I think I had that on the 360. Secret of Monkey Island.
Oh yeah,
You'd hit the one button and it would actually flip it back into the old school graphics. You could play either way. There were a couple of games like that I had early on, or not early on, but that I had before, and I guess you could say last gen now, since we are in the next generation. That's fucking crazy to say.
Back when I was 22.
Yeah, I was much older than 22. So what the hell. So that'll be really interesting to see the new baseball game. CES. I think we talked a little bit about CES. Maybe we didn't, because I can't remember when our last episode was. But PlayStation Now was announced from Sony. That's their Gaikai streaming service. So
Which sounds awesome.
It sounds incredible. So this is going to be coming to PS4.
Vita.
I think they're doing a beta on PS3, which is odd that they'd be doing a beta on PS3 considering it's PS3 games. But yeah, Vita, it's coming to Sony Bravia TVs. They're going to put this app in a bunch of devices. It sounds like you're going to be able to play this thing anywhere and just stream PS3, PS2, and probably PS1 games. I think PS3 games were the first thing that were announced. So some of the games that I can't even remember some of the games that they announced actually.
I can't either.
The Last of Us was one, and a couple other ones.
I'll have to stream that one. I still haven't played it.
I was thinking the same thing, that I wanted to stream that one. That may be one that may be one that I actually stream. And that's the only one I see here in the article real quick that they list, so I don't feel bad enough for remembering any of the other ones. So, Last of Us, God of War, Ascension, Beyond Two Souls, and Puppeteer were some of the ones that were listed at running at CES. So I'm really interested in that. How do you think they're going to work the subscription model to that? Because there's going to be a subscription model for it. So
of course there's going to be a subscription model. I just hope it's not as bad as Xbox Live. I mean, I kind of like... I don't know. They don't really have a subscription model now, though, so much as it is just subscribe to PlayStation Plus.
Right. So what I'm wondering is they're going to have several different subscriptions. Here's my take on this. And this is what I was thinking right when I heard this. They're going to have several different subscriptions. They're going to have a subscription for somebody that has PlayStation Plus. You may get, let's say, a game or two a month that you can rent and stream.
Okay.
With your PlayStation Plus subscription. I wonder if they're going to just... I hate to say that they'd stop giving away free games and just go all streaming-based games and just let you stream stuff. But I have a feeling they're going to give something to the people with PlayStation Plus, but it's not going to be everything. So I have a feeling you're going to be able to either rent or buy games right off the bat. Like if you wanted to rent a game, you'd be able to rent a game for a little while. If you want to buy a game, you can buy it and stream it. And I'm guessing they are going to have some sort of subscription besides what they're going to offer to the PlayStation Plus members. And it'll be interesting to see how many games you can get with that subscription. I mean, I wonder if they'd maybe work it like a GameFly, where you can have like multiple games available to you for a certain price each month.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like $15 get you one game, $20 get you two games a month you can stream.
The problem I have with that is it was one of the things you first said, which is where there's the possibility that we could see downloading games just going away, period. Like you can't just buy games. You're going to be streaming them all the time.
I don't think they're going to go. I don't think it's going to go that far.
I hope they don't, because then it's just going to become a Sony tablet.
Yeah, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's completely perfected yet, and I don't think bandwidth in the U.S. has penetrated that deeply. People with high enough bandwidth to be able to do this, because I think our bandwidth is getting there, but right now I think the biggest thing is going to be latency, and latency is just something that's inherent to the internet with the way it's just built.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, I'm one of those assholes that still likes to go out and buy physical cards for my Vita. I mean, if I can't get those, there's a good chance I'm probably not going to play the game if I can't get a card for it, unless it's a download only thing. Like, well, there's like 2 or 3 games on the PlayStation Store that are download only for Vita.
Right.
And I just prefer to play it like that, and that's a very old school mentality of things, but that's just how I do it.
I don't know if it's old school. It's people like to collect things. I
Well,
like to
yeah.
collect things. I like to collect games. So I kind of feel that way. No, I have gone the way of doing a lot of downloading to where I've kind of gotten away from having all the physical copies that I used to have because I just have so many physical copies here in the house of just over the past 20 some years of gaming, 30 years.
That's enough time.
But no, I exactly understand what you're saying, and you're not the only one that still likes to collect stuff. I mean, if there's a game that I want and the game that I'm really really into, I mean, like Skyrim, I got the collector's edition for.
Oh, so do I. Yeah.
I mean, so there are games where if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna want everything for it. So I'm right there with you. I completely understand and agree with you on that. So.
Yeah. But anyway, PlayStation now looks cool.
It does. It looks really cool, and I really can't wait for that to come around and for that to happen. So
because we all know we're Sony whores on this show. We're sellouts.
All right, next story: Persona Q Battle of the Labyrinth. I turned on my 360 recently.
So that automatically voids that argument that we're Sony whores.
Yeah, I turned on my 360 recently.
I powered it up. Whatever. I turned it on.
It's all good. It's all good. It's not connected to the internet right now, but I can still play shit.
Because when it does connect, it gets a red ring.
Persona Q. Actually, it did freeze the last game I played.
Ooh.
That was my fault. I had it in the wrong spot in the entertainment center and didn't have everything set up properly, so that was bad. That was bad on my part.
Set it on top of your entertainment center, on top of like 3 books, or
no. I had it. When I moved it over to the right side of the entertainment center, it's basically right in front of a heater vent.
Oh, well, that'll. And
I was playing a game and didn't realize that the heat had kicked on, and I think it basically overheated. It just froze it. It didn't red ring or anything, but it was just. I think it just overheated, and I was like, oh yeah. So I have I made like a cover that goes over the heat vent that actually redirects the heat out to the side, so it's not blowing right on the entertainment center.
And on the front of the cover, you wrote "Save Xbox."
Yeah, basically that's what it is. And I didn't have that in place because what I had on the right side of the entertainment center was the old PS2 and my Google TV, and I hadn't turned on my PS2 in forever, and the Google TV is completely fine with the heat. It can handle it. So I hadn't even thought about it when I moved it and powered it up when we were playing a game one time, and I was like, oh, I know what the problem is.
Heater's on.
That was dumb of me. Persona Q Shadow of Labyrinth. This is a game that's not out yet.
Right. And this is kind of a new thing for us because we're usually talking about games that are out.
Yes. I think I meant to move this down to the what I want to play now section of the story.
Yeah, the only problem is I don't have a 3DS. And the reason why I dropped it in here was, well, there were 2 reasons. One, it's a Persona game, and, we're both officially Persona whores. And 2, the art style, it's now chibi.
Chibi?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. That's kind of weird.
That will be interesting to see. I don't know. I think I would kind of like it, though. I don't mind the chibi art. I mean, that's for those people that don't know, chibi art is kind of like anime style, but where they're kind of like kids. So I guess kind of like what I put in the show notes, imagine Muppet Babies, where you basically have the Muppets, but on the Muppet Babies, they're all little. That's kind of what chibi is, basically. It's, it's like kiddie and anime.
Right, but the problem with chibi is that it has the potential to go to one extreme or the other. It can be really, really bad, or It can be really, really good.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they're doing chibi of existing Persona characters because Persona Q has characters from 3 and 4 in it.
Yeah.
So you're used to seeing these characters how they normally look, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I got chibi, chibi zone. Okay. Some of them just look ridiculous.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. Now this has only been released or announced for Japan. There's no U.S. release date for this, so this may not come over for a while. Right, but I went to here's an interesting. Speaking of like the SMT games,
I actually went to. There's a place in Canton called the Exchange. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So and there's
Used
one.
to be, they used to be called the Record Exchange.
Oh,
They
really?
dropped the record from their name.
There's one in Fair Lawn right by Summit Mall too. It's right on Market Street there, across from Get Go. So I went in there, and there's actually like 6 or 7 SMT games for the 3DS already.
Oh, really?
They're not Persona games though. It's just they're just games in the SMT franchise.
Right.
And they look so much different from the Persona games. Look so different, and they don't even actually call. I don't think they refer to them as Personas in those games. They're just like Monster Rancher on crack.
Yeah, and those I've never played one of those, and I would like to give one a try. Because I've heard it's just basically completely grinding. All you do is grind in it.
Right. Well,
it's
know
just
with
a
your
constant grind fest.
with your love of Acheron's Call there, I think you're the grinding guy.
Yeah, I guess you could probably say that.
I couldn't stand to do that, man.
I don't know how long I would like it because in some of the other games where that's been like when I played Final Fantasy 11, that one was way too grindy. I did not last that long in that game.
Right.
And then when I played Ion, that game was super grindy because I think that was a Korean MMO.
Yeah, it was.
That game was just, I mean, once we hit the upper 30s and got close to 40, it was like you hit a wall, and it was just like, ugh. It was, playing it, it wasn't that bad. It was fun, but I remember there was one area where I was just in this one area doing the same thing over and over again for probably a good 2 weeks just to finish these quests, just to get these items. And once I got these items, I literally was pretty much done with the game because I did not want to play it fucking anymore.
See, I hate when games are like that. Like your difficult, like your curve either starts right when you start, which is what happened with Cube World, right? Because it was super fucking hard at the beginning, and then once you got on, it got easier and easier and easier. But then you have those games where they start off way too easy, and then you get to up
ramp
here,
up
and then it's just like a flat fucking wall. You'll never get anything done.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the one guy that I work with was playing Ion. We were together. We were in a guild, and because it was really PvP based, so we always usually hung around together. But he even said, he goes, I can't believe you lasted longer than I did in that. And I go, I wanted to get those items. I wanted to get, like, there was this jewelry that I wanted to get, and I had to get it. And once I started it, I just wasn't going to stop, and I just put up with it and put up with the PvPing and the griefing and the killing and got him. And then once I did it, literally I kind of walked around for a couple of days, and I was like, I really don't want to play this game anymore.
Damn it.
I am pretty much done. So, Chibi. So we're going to look for some Persona Q Chibi style. That'll be interesting. But you're right. I don't have a 3DS either. I don't have a 2DS. So, and I'm probably not going to buy one.
I didn't even know there was a 2DS.
Hopefully it comes over to the Vita. You didn't know there was a 2DS?
Fuck no, man.
It came out before Christmas.
See, this is how much Nintendo does not matter to me anymore. I just don't even give a shit. Right? I mean, they're like...
That's one of the stories. I was going to say, that's one of the stories we don't even have on here, was their earnings that they had and the big loss that they're posting.
Well, I wonder why.
And everybody's like, what are they going to do now? So, yeah, I didn't even put that story on here.
Well, wait, there's only one thing to say about
let's jump ahead to the anime in 2014. What's that?
So there's only one thing to say about that. Big fucking surprise, right?
Well, you know what? They got Wii money. They're fine They're fine until they at least release another console with all their Wii money.
That's how their bank accounts are divided in Huntington. There's like General Slush Fund, and then there's one called Wii.
There's one called Wii money. They got Wii money.
And it's all virtual currency.
So
it's all Bitcoin.
They were after the Wii. They were allowed to have one failed console. Hopefully, the next one that they put out does a little better.
Just make another GameCube.
Because from Well, from what I've heard about the Xbox One and the PS4 sales during the holidays, it sounds like they were actually really good. So I think altogether they've sold well over 7 million consoles between the two, which I think blows away what the 360 and PS3 did during the same time frame.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they weren't released at the same time. They weren't released at the same time. They were released a year apart, and the Wii was released around the same time as the PS3. So it's so hard to really judge how good the consoles are doing. I mean, to me, it sounds like everything I read about the PS4 and the Xbox One, it sounds like they're doing really good. So let's just hope it keeps up.
Yeah.
So we got more shit to play. The more consoles that sell, more shit they make, more games to play. That's all I want to see.
Joe, you're so
okay over there?
pragmatic. Yeah, you're so pragmatic and peaceful about all this.
I am just homed in.
Where's your anger? Where's your inner fuck?
There's no anger. There's no anger here. Anger has subsided.
You've become one with nature, haven't you? You've been meditating.
Yes, I have. I have been. All right, next story. Anime in 2014 to possibly watch.
Yeah, there was a shit ton of anime on this.
There was a crap load, so I don't even know what you want to talk about this. Well, I'll let you run with this one.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously Kotaku's going to be the place to go to figure some of this shit out, right? But I mean, it's like some of this stuff I can't tell if I want to watch it just by looking at the previews. I kind of feel like I'd have to buy at least something, you know what I mean, or find a ripped copy and watch one of them. None of them really look good to me, though. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them really caught my eye. It doesn't help the fact that when you pull up this webpage, they have video previews of everything in here, and it just murders your PC.
I looked at it, and there was just so much there. I didn't even know where to start, where to end, what to do. I was like, okay, I'll wait for somebody to recommend some of this shit, because I had to, like you, it was just too much.
Right. Well, I mean, I was pulling it up right now.
I just didn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I was pulling it up right now, and Chrome was tanking hardcore, so I was like, yeah, whatever. We're not doing that.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even open up that page. That's why I was like, I was going to let you run with this one.
So, but, I mean, the point here is I would like to see some new things in 2014. Because I'm stuck on a bunch of old stuff that I was trying to find from like 7 years ago that is impossible now to find.
Yeah, sometimes some of the older stuff is hard to find.
Oh, dude, it's fucking impossible to find some of those, and I don't understand why.
And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all the VHS stuff I have from when I worked at the comic book store.
Put it in your beta player.
Well, I think I have Crying Freeman. I don't even know what else I have. That was one of the better ones that I had. And I have some other ones, too. I might have Ninja Scroll.
Holy crap, man.
Dude, old school, buddy. That's when I got into this stuff.
Holy crap. You know, I saw, what was it? I went to Walmart the other day. They have a Robotech box set where it's literally got the whole freaking series in the box.
I've always wanted the Robotech series. Robotech is one of my favorite series, and I've never just pulled the trigger on it, and I will one day before I die. That's almost like a bucket list thing to me, seriously.
Bucket list. $35 at Walmart.
That's not bad.
No, I didn't buy it. I've only seen one episode of it, and that was years ago, and I don't even remember enough about it to say whether or not I'd buy the whole damn thing.
Oh, I love Robotech's an awesome series. If you have not watched Robotech, yes, you need to watch it. That's almost like that's just something you have to watch.
So you're telling me I should go to Walmart and get it?
Yeah, I would. I guess it depends on what series it is. Because there are different ones.
It didn't specify. I'm assuming it's vanilla.
So as long as it's the original Robotech series, and if it's that cheap, dude, it's worth it. Definitely worth it.
Okay, I'll have to go back there Friday and get it.
So,
I hid that copy, by the way, at Walmart.
Okay.
I picked it up and put it someplace in the store where I would know where it was at.
Nice.
You ever done that before? Like you go in a store and
No, I haven't. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have. I don't know if I ever have or not.
Okay, so let me paint the picture, right? I'm walking down the DVD aisle, and I see this Robotech box set, and it's the only one left. And I asked them if they were getting any more stock, and they said no. So what did I do? I picked it up, and I literally went to the other end of the store, like where nothing was there, and I just dropped it behind like oil containers.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go there Friday and see if it's there.
If it is, that'll be funny as hell. That will be hilarious.
That'd be a $30 win.
All right, next story. You wanted to talk about Rust. I watched some gameplays of this. I've read a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think, I wanted to talk about it because I saw it originally, and I really haven't followed through with this as much as you have.
Well, I wouldn't say that I followed through too much. I just watched a little gameplay of it and have read a little bit about it.
Well, that's more than me, dude.
Okay, for those who don't know what Rust is, it's on early access on Steam. It's, I guess you could say, a cross between Minecraft and, let's say, DayZ, which I think is a mod for Arma 3, which is kind of like a zombie killer game.
Which was
like
total
a first-person
shit.
game. Really? I've heard good things about that. I've never played it, but it seems like it's rather popular. You're not a first-person shooter fan, though, so I don't know if people can really trust you on that one. we will throw that caveat out there. I don't know if people can trust you with that one.
No, the only first person. Okay, just to preface that, the only first person shooters I've ever liked, well, the only one I've ever liked was Doom, and yeah, if it's not Doom, I probably won't like it. So fair enough.
Isn't
Oh, and BioShock Infinite. Yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't BioShock Infinite a first-person shooter kind of like?
Okay, so BioShock and Doom. That's about
Okay.
it. Yeah, that's about it.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Yeah. Okay. You almost made a liar out of me, Joe.
That was easy.
Staples. That was easy.
So, but Rust, you basically start off naked and with a rock in your hand, and you have to go around with your rock, collect wood, collect stone, and build things. So you can basically clothe yourself with armor or with cloth, starting off with the cloth, and then you work your way up to some crude type of armor. And you can go from building, who knows what weapon-wise, but I've seen people killing people with rocks. I've seen people in games with guns. So there is a lot you can build and construct, and that's where the Minecraft part comes in. Now, from what I've heard, a lot of this is PvP. So if you're playing on a PvP server and you're running around with a rock and somebody else has a gun, yeah, I'd run.
That was the one thing I remember reading about this game was like anybody who's got a gun is severely overpowered. Yeah. So yeah, you like a gun versus rock. You know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
The people can figure it out themselves. If they can't, buy the game and figure it out. Let us know.
Or better yet, go grab a rock yourself and run out in the middle of a gunfight and see what happens.
But also, from what I've seen, you basically have to build a house where you can fall asleep in your house. People can pretty much break in and I think still kill you and steal your stuff, though. So it sounds. It reminds me a lot of Darkfall, which was an MMO that I played when it first came out, that I got into somehow, because that was when that game was released. It was released in limited availability, and I somehow got into the first wave of game sales before they shut it down because they just didn't have the server capacity. But Darkfall was basically kind of like that. It was complete PvP. The whole world was basically not safe. I think the only place where you were semi-safe was in cities, and when you died, you basically lost all your stuff.
Oh.
So, and you could build up, if you were in a guild, your guild could build up their, I don't know if you want to say castle, but that could be invaded and taken over by other guilds and other people.
Could you do a corpse run at least?
No, because the people that killed you pretty much would take it all.
Oh, damn.
It was a very, very brutal game. Very brutal. And those types of games are just rife for cheating, because there were things you can do to get like your swimming up. You would just go out into the water and just park your character somewhere where nobody would find you, and leave like your run button on to where you were swimming constantly because your statistics went up, your stats went up by basically using and playing the game. So if you left your character swimming overnight, you could probably max out your swimming overnight just by letting them swim up against a wall constantly. Same thing with running. You would just see people in like their kingdoms, in like their home base,
Mm-hmm.
in a room, so they couldn't get attacked from like a sniper or something, running up against a wall in a corner to max out your run skill. And you had to do these things because if you didn't, and you weren't even with everybody else, you were completely fucked. So you had to do those things to stay on a level playing field to even somewhat enjoy the game.
So that's what pisses me off is when the game, in order to play the game, you have to play the game based around
how everybody else is playing it.
Right. Well, it's a fuck handicap basically, is what it is.
There was during that first week or so of play, there was a bug where they had pools of acid in the lower part of your home base. And if you ran through those pools of acid, you would take damage. Well, people figured out if you walked into them very slowly and then just strafed side to side, you would splash enough acid up on yourself to where you would take a little damage, but not enough to where your body wasn't constantly recovering the health faster than the damage you could do. So you could build up your defense real quick by doing this. If you just stood in the acid pool strafing left and right for hours on end.
Damn. And people say gamers are not dedicated.
Oh, I did it. I worked on my defense.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
So it was a crazy game. I had only played it for a couple months, I think, before I stopped because it was just way too insane. One of the things that really pissed me off was I think the game was originally released in Greece, and the servers were over there as well. Well, there was supposed to be a U.S. release, and they said if you buy the game originally, when they come out with the U.S. servers, your game will carry over. And it didn't. When they opened up U.S. servers, they wanted you to buy a U.S. copy of the game and basically start your character fresh and new. And I was like, yeah, suck it. I'm out of here. I was like, that is not happening. So I know some people who did, and I think there's some people that I actually played with that are still playing the game. I mean, wow. they like it. It's several years old now. But yeah, it was crazy.
That's like those fucking kids that still play WoW.
I used to play WoW. I only played it for 6 months though. So
you look like a WoW player.
I don't have my my World of Warcraft jacket on. I got that well after I quit playing though. I just kind of liked it.
It's got a panda on the back, doesn't it?
No. All right, Gone Home. So I played Gone Home. Well, yes. Should we put this under what I'm playing now? So this is a story, really?
Well, well, you're not technically playing it now. It's something we both played in the past.
Yeah. Well, let's get through the next two stories after that, and we'll jump back to Gone Home.
Okay.
So there's a big PS3 and Vita sale for those people who don't know. Sony's having a 14 for 14 sale. Last week it was supposed to start tomorrow. That was last week. It's a week ago. I actually picked up Splunky on the Vita, which is actually really hard. It's that game. That is a cursing game.
You've been telling me how angry you've gotten at that game.
That game. I haven't gotten too angry. It's just frustrating. It's just like I'm not that good at it. I just die repeatedly. So maybe one day I'll get a really good run in, but we'll see.
Oh no. Okay, so if you weren't getting that angry, we'll get to a game that'll make you angry here before too long. Down in the what I'm playing now section. Yeah. Talk about putting your Vita through a wall.
I can't wait to hear about that. So the last story that we have before we start talking about Gone Home is going to be SimCity getting an offline mode, which is just completely fucking hilarious to me. Because when that game was released and everybody bought it, everybody's like, why don't we have an offline mode? And Maxis and EA were like, the game was written to where you could not play the game offline. And 2 weeks into them saying that and having released the game, somebody hacked it and said, you know what, you can play this offline. And they never said anything about it again. And now it sounds like they're coming up with an offline mode, which is a complete fucking joke. The free game I got for that still doesn't even make up for how much it fucking sucked. Biggest disappointment of last year.
This kind of shit scares me for Sims 4 because I actually kind of want to play Sims 4. But if they keep pulling this kind of bullshit shenanigans, I'm probably just not going to want to have anything to do with them anymore.
Kim and I used to play The Sims on the PS2.
I have another PSP.
There was a Sims game released on the PS2, and Kim and I got it, and we actually played it together, and it was actually really funny because we were in a house together.
Oh, God.
And we had a room, like the first night our characters were going to bed, she hops into bed, and then I go to get into bed, and she's laying there in bed, she's like, I looked at her, I'm like, you fucking whore, you won't let me sleep with you?
I thought you were going to say, like, the first night you had, like, a chamber in your basement with, like, leather and cuffs.
No, it was hilarious because the characters, we actually had to work at getting the characters to like each other before they would even sleep next to each other. It was just a freaking riot playing that game co-op together. It was just so funny.
Oh, okay, so how long had you two been dating at that point?
Oh, I don't even know. Probably a couple of years, maybe a year or two.
Okay, so the relationship was solidified enough such that it was not an accurate representation.
Oh yes, and that's why it was so funny. I mean, yeah, we had been dating for several years, I would say probably.
I was just saying, how horribly ironic would it have been?
It was just so funny.
So,
all right, Gone Home. So I played Gone Home. We're going to jump into what I'm playing now. So I'll guess what I played now. Since I have finished Gone Home.
What you did play.
What I did play. So you actually had a huge story about this. Why some people, it was basically a huge synopsis. I don't even know what the hell you want to call this thing.
I'd say it was synopsis.
Of Gone Home and why what people think about it and all this other stuff. You liked Gone Home.
I did.
You thought it was very good, I believe, right?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually.
I thought it was okay. I don't know if it would have been one of my top 10 games for last year. I would probably say no.
I would put it in top 10.
See, and I don't know if I would. I mean, I liked it. I liked the story. And in skimming through some of the article that you put up here, there are some things that, yes, I do see. Like the whole thing with them teasing that you're thinking it may turn into a little bit of a horror game, and it never does.
Mm-hmm.
That does kind of keep you on edge.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting the whole game, and I guess that might make it a pretty good game because I played it like this. I basically sat on the edge of my seat the whole game, waiting for that jump scare to happen, and it never fucking did.
I think that was one of the things I first mentioned because I finished a game way before you did.
Oh yeah, you did.
And well, I mean, I fucking bought it and finished it the same day. But one of the things I mentioned early on was, I mean, it had the potential to be a very good horror game, and there were those aspects.
I agree.
And there were those aspects to it where you're like, you become your own enemy playing the game because the lighting is so good, and there's such a lack of lighting for one thing that you see certain areas in the house and you're like, oh fuck that, I'm not going down there. Just period. I'm not touching that with a fucking cattle prod.
Now, see, that was one thing that they mentioned in the game early on, that the house has lighting issues.
Right.
So anytime I walked into a room if the lights were off, when I left the room, I turned the lights off again.
I didn't. I left all them fuckers on.
See, I never did. I always turned it on because I didn't want things to start blowing. So I was like, if the room's dark to begin with, I know there's only so much power that probably can go through this house before things start going nuts.
And see,
so I would walk into a room, and I just instinctively walked out and literally turned the lights off, just so I could be ready for the next room.
And see, that's the same exact thing I was thinking. I was wondering, if I turn all these fucking lights on, is it gonna blow something and all the lights are gonna go off, and then I'm screwed?
Exactly. That's what I didn't want to happen. So
we
played it differently.
It never happened.
That's funny.
No, but I did listen to some of the cassettes, though, and I threw the one in the oven.
Oh, I didn't do that. But I did listen to a lot of the cassettes. It's a lot of punk music. I liked punk stuff back in the day. So as I was walking around the room, I'd put the tape in and listen to part of it. Towards the end, though, I kind of got tired of it. I was like, okay, I was well into punk 20 years ago. I mean, it's... Well... When I was in high school, that was I saw the Ramones in concert.
Wow.
I mean, so it's the era that I come from. I remember I am a little older than you.
Oh, really?
So I mean, when I threw in the tape, I go, "Ah, it's punk. Okay, it's cool. I like punk."
So, some of that stuff was okay. And some of the other stuff, I mean, it was your stereotypical high school garage band with a
Yeah,
lead female singer who can't sing.
yeah.
And, you know.
The story was really good. I really thought they were going to go more, and I guess we should say spoiler alert for those who haven't played the game. We'll preface this right now since we are talking quite a bit about the story, or I'm going to right now.
Go for it.
I really thought they were going to go more into the uncle and I guess the horror piece, the horror part that we kind of just talked of,
Yeah.
like you seeing the uncle's ghost or something. I mean, especially when you get close to the end of the game and you see some of the stuff that they had in the attic with like the uncle. I think it was in the attic with the uncle's picture and everything there,
Yep.
kind of like by the pentagram and everything. I was like, okay, shit's going down here.
Right.
And that stuff just never materialized either. I mean, I guess there were parts in the game where when you're in a room, you could hear things down the hallway and stuff, you know, to kind of give you that little bit of eeriness and keep you on edge, which the game definitely did. I was, like I said, I basically sat on the edge of my seat through the whole game, waiting for the jump scare that never happened. So
Right.
they kind of tricked me that way.
Right. And, well, there was that aspect. And then the article that I put in the show notes, you noted it's a fucking huge article. I mean, this thing was written by somebody who writes for a living, and this is a massive synopsis of this game. One of the things that she pointed out in that article was the gaping holes in the story. Right? I mean, because basically, the story is a very shallow experience. You don't have any of that backstory for any of those people. Right. I mean,
well, you're figuring out the whole backstory. That's basically the whole game is figuring out the backstory.
Right, but it's a shallow experience, right? Because it's only just bits and pieces of it, and you never really figure any out, like the pure motivations for a lot of those people, like especially her mom and dad. But they weren't.
Well, her mom and dad, it sounds like one. Her dad was an author who basically
tanked,
was past his prime.
Right.
The mother sounds like they moved out there. She got a really good job, and she was almost having somewhat of an affair.
Yeah, you know, I'm reading those notes about the park ranger and then him getting posted their permit. I'm like, oh yeah, she's getting a piece of ass. That's what she's doing.
and then you find that one article towards the end of the game where you basically figure out, okay, they're not going away for a wedding or an anniversary this weekend. They're going away for couples therapy.
Right.
I mean, so one of the things I think that I would have liked to have seen at the end of the game, which I thought would have been so fucking awesome, when you're going up
in the door.
When you're going up to the attic at the end of the game, I was almost expecting to see the two girls up there dead.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so fucking cool.
That's what I was expecting. When I got into the attic with the red lights and everything like that, I was like, the sisters up here, they're going to be arm in arm, they're going to be holding each other, and they fucking did it. They killed themselves.
That would have been, you know, that sounds really horrible for us saying this, especially for people who haven't played this game, but that probably would have been the most logical ending to that game, period.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they're fucking dead. I'm going to find bodies up here. This is what's going down in Chinatown. And then I get out there and I'm looking around and I'm like, and I get to the end of the game and I'm like, what? I'm like, you gotta fucking be kidding me. That's the end of the game. That's how they're fucking gonna end it? Yeah. I'm like, well, that's the shittiest fucking ending. That's like sitting there through a 2-hour movie and then you get to the ending and it's like, eh, fuck you ending.
It's like watching fucking Black Swan is what it's like.
And I guess that's kind of what just bummed me out about the whole thing, was almost just like the ending. It was like it leads up to this, the end. It was like they could have just put Finn up there or something, you know?
Yeah, speaking of which, that's another thing I want to grind. Why can't you just write Finnish? Why you gotta write Finn? That's a fucking fish part, you idiot.
So I don't know.
I would say it's my top 10 games. I think the story was good. The execution was going in far too many directions. It led to a very confusing experience.
Yeah.
It did. I think if they could have made the atmosphere a little lighter, then it probably would have worked.
Yeah.
Had they not entailed all these pseudo horror elements and left them dangling, like they literally just orphaned 3 or 4 plot elements in the story. Had they not done that, I think it would have been a way better game.
Yeah, that's a game I'm gonna let my wife play because I really want to see what she thinks about it because I don't know if she's gonna like that type of game. I can almost guarantee she won't.
I mean, those kinds of games aren't for everybody from the get-go.
Right.
But,
But I'm interested to hear what she has to say about it whenever she has a chance to play it because I want her to try to play it.
Yeah, I'd be interested too.
So, one of the other things that I've been playing this past week, Zen Pinball 2. One of the nice things on the PS4, it's basically a free download, and you can import all your tables from PS3. Well, back in the day, since I'm a PlayStation Plus member, I got a shitload of tables given to me.
Ooh.
So I played a bunch of that, and I actually have several fairly high scores. So
Are you showing off your high scores on PSN?
I wanted to actually post one up on the website, which I'm hopefully going to do soon. I do have a picture of one score that was like extremely high, where I unlocked 2 trophies. There's 2 trophies per table, and I got both trophies in one game on this one table. Because I actually finished. You have this thing called like nightmare mode or something where you get this stuff to happen, and it's this huge part of the story that's kind of going on. And yes, there's story in pinball games.
Yeah. Joe walks into an arcade room. Greg's on the other end.
Believe it or not, no. Actually, the one is called Epic Quest.
I've heard of that one.
And it's actually a role-playing game because your character levels up the more you play it. And you get better loot, better weapons, better armor. And the object is to basically get through all 12 of the monsters that are there. I think there's 12 monsters you're supposed to get through to unlock the one trophy. And I could make it through some of them, but I've never been able to make it through all 12 in one sitting. That's just insane.
Yeah, the only pinball game I ever played was Pinball on the NES.
Okay.
That was a good game.
See, I used to, back in the day on the Commodore 64, there was one called Pinball Construction Set. I think it was put out by Electronic Arts.
I remember seeing that in an old Retro Gamer magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that. I used to play that.
I
used to do all the construction sets. There was an adventure construction set, a pinball construction set, and they were all put out by Electronic Arts, which is crazy that you would think EA would put that stuff out. And it was back when they had the funky EA logo, not their normal, just EA. It was almost like 3 letters.
Wasn't it like no, it was 3 shapes. It was,
it was like 3 shapes, like an E, kind of like a circle thing, and then like an A or something like that.
Yeah, like a triangle.
Yeah, it was really funky back then.
Yeah, that was actually when they did good shit, though.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, and if anybody still remembers what that logo looks like, you're awesome.
I do.
Okay, well, you're awesome.
Thank you. All right, other game I've been playing, Persona 4 Golden. So I told you where I was at. Do not spoil anything for me. Did I finish the fucking game?
No, you didn't.
Okay, that's all I want to know then. All right.
No, so Joe was texting me earlier. So here's the thing. If you ever...
yeah, I sent you a text. I think I'm going to finish the game. You're like, the fuck do you mean you might? You think you finished it?
Well, actually, I was laughing because you sent that to me. I'm like, yeah, you probably didn't do it. So anybody who's played Persona games knows that there's like 14 different endings to these fucking games, right? And Persona 4 is no different, but it's actually really hard to get the, quote, true ending because the last half of the game is dedicated to really careful dialogue choices. It's not just dungeon grinding to get the next dungeon open. You got to be really, really picky about what you say to people. But if you get it, then that's like, I mean, there's no other way to beat the game. That is like you get a nice trophy so you can brag to everybody, and you get a whole bunch of other perks to carry over into New Game Plus. But it's really hard to get it. And Joe sent me a text message like, yeah, I think I did it. And I asked him where he was at, and so I'm like, I thought he was farther along than what he was. So I'm asking him like what he did, and he didn't even do it. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, quit saying stuff. You're gonna spoil it.
I'm like,
You're like, well, did you do this? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I guess not.
I'm like, I already said it to you, so I might as well say now. I'm like, so did you throw Namatame in the TV? And he's like, what?
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. Yeah, dude, you still got like 20 hours left, man.
Oh, jeez. So, but yeah, I did hook up with Yukiko.
Nice.
I maxed out her social link.
Is she the only Slink you have max?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the only one I have maxed right now. I have a couple others that are close. I think Nanako is close. I haven't worked much on Chie lately because I was concentrating on Yukiko so much.
Well, she's your girlfriend. You got to.
Yeah. And I think the one with the sports guys, I think is up to about 8 or 9.
Oh, with Daisuke?
Yeah, because remember I went and played the soccer route.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Where you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't do that the first time. I'm doing it the second time though.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did not have that Slink at all the first time around, so.
And I just took it.
I need to max them all out.
Yeah, I just took a job at the hospital as a janitor.
I didn't do that one.
You didn't do that one?
No, I did the daycare.
I did the daycare, but I've only been to the daycare once, I think. I did the folding, I started off folding envelopes. I did the daycare, but I've only been to the daycare once. And then I took the janitor job, and I've only been to the janitor job once. And the nurse hit on me and says, you need to come back. And I need to go back to see what this nurse is going to say. So, it looked interesting.
Joe's the Persona player. Is like, I'm going to date this woman and date this other woman, and nobody will know because they're different places.
Well, it seems like Rise would have been the girl that I probably would have chosen, but she came along so late, and I was already so into Yukiko. I wanted to finish Yukiko and do that one,
Right.
But I think, like you said, I think when you were playing it through a second time, or you chose Chie the first time, I think, and then the second time I think you were playing as Rise. You were playing for Rise, right?
Yeah, Chie was the first one, and then the second one's going to be Rise because I maxed out her Slink the first playthrough, but
yeah,
I didn't. Well, I mean, you have to because I mean, the perks you get for maxing out her Slink on her Persona are fucking insane.
Oh, I could just imagine because it's
so
already
many,
nice just having her where I'm at in the game right now.
Right. I mean, there's so many passive skills you get. I mean, she has some skills that will regenerate your HP and SP, and those can be leveled up as well. So you can get like Regenerate 3, which will restore like 50 or 60 hit points after a battle.
That's nice.
But she also.
But see, I've gotten to a point in the game where I have a couple of people who have the group healing, and the party healing costs so little. Doing a party heal at the end of a battle really is nothing.
Wait
to top everybody off.
I don't know if you got it yet. Wait, there's an accessory you can get from God, I hate it because I can't remember the shop name. The blacksmith. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't know his name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I should know his name. There's an accessory you can get that will have your SP consumption.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's good to know.
I threw that on Yukiko because eventually her party heal skill will level up to the point where the party heal completely restores HP for all party members.
Nice.
And when you have the SP on that, you're casting it for like, I think it was 17 SP, which at that point in the game is not even worth blinking at.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I was looking at all the different trophies you have and all the different trophies I have, and it seems like you do have more than me. But I'm catching up.
Well, that's because I'm an idiot, and I'm just like, I come home, Persona 4. Ah!
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. I actually did, instead of watching anime this weekend while I was hanging out with the dog, I just sat there on the floor with him and kind of just played Persona 4 and got through quite a bit. I mean, I probably doubled the amount of time over the weekend that I had put into it.
Well, I was going to say, man, when you sent me that text message and said you were level 50, I was like, yeah, you put some work in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. I more than doubled my levels, so.
Yeah, because I think the last time you were telling me about it, you were like 28 or something like that.
Yeah.
And when I finished the game at 90, I believe. Yeah, I was at 90. And my highest Persona level was 83 or 84.
Wow.
Yeah. It actually got to a point with me though where, and I figured this out, and I can't remember how to. Oh, I know how to do it. Okay, so you can actually get your other characters to outlevel you.
Oh yeah, I had it happen already.
Yeah, so
I,
like
I had a I had a persona that I created with a huge social link bonus that was like a 9 social link bonus, and it outleveled me, and I actually went back into the dungeon to level up, but I saw you can actually equip that persona still, even though it's higher than you. You just can't create it.
No, I was talking about like Chie, for example. You can have like Chie or Yukiko or Rise. You can have them outlevel you.
Okay.
Basically, what you do is you take them to the. What is it? I believe it's you take them to the movies.
Okay.
And that will do it.
Interesting. See, I haven't gone to a movie yet.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
I will have to.
Might want to do that. They show some good movies there, Joe. They got Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Don't tell me anymore. I want to be surprised. Don't spoil it for me.
That movie's not even in there.
All right, so one of the other games we're gonna are we doing Persona 4?
Yeah, we're done.
I still got to. I'm only halfway through the game. Fucking shit. Damn it. I wanted to get back to Assassin's Creed 4.
Nope.
Fuck.
Nope.
So one of the other games that I've been playing, and actually my wife's been playing probably more than me, is Don't Starve. That was free for the PS4 a couple weeks ago. Once she kind of got into it, she's kind of hooked on this thing. She actually really likes it.
That's what you were saying.
She's actually figuring out quite a bit. She's actually taught me some stuff that I didn't even realize about the game. She's seen stuff that I've never seen in the game.
Should we have like a miniature schooling session with your wife?
So I'm actually impressed with how good she's doing. I mean, I'm sitting there and she's like, look this up for me real quick. Look this up for me real quick. She downloaded a couple of the Don't Starve apps on her phone so she can like look things up, what she's playing. So it's really funny.
Nice.
So a couple weeks ago, we'll jump on to the next thing. We sometimes talk about anime. Of
course.
I did not play Persona 4 Golden a couple weeks ago. I actually sat around over the weekend and watched some anime. I watched Rosario plus Vampire and Dot Hack Quantum. Rosario plus Vampire was actually a really good one.
Never seen it.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's on Netflix. I don't know. You said you didn't have Netflix, but this is one that I would definitely watch. Really, really good one. I won't spoil it for you. Dot Hack Quantum. I like the Dot Hack series. I've watched some of the other Dot Hack animes before. I played the first Dot Hack game that was out on the PS2, and I can kick myself in the ass for not buying the rest of the series on the PS2 because now they are very expensive.
Yeah.
When I looked them up recently. But I just like that whole story, especially since I'm so into MMOs, and that's based around a game where you're playing in an MMO as the game.
Right.
It's almost the MMO is almost like a meta game to the game itself. It's just really funky.
I think the one Dot Hack, the very first one I saw was Dot Hack Slash.
Yeah.
That's the one with Subaru, I think, and Subaru and Tsubasa, I think, were the characters in that one.
I cannot remember any of the names. It's been so long since I've watched it.
But I fucking love that show, man. I gotta find that box set somewhere. I know there's one out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There is. Because I've looked at it myself.
I gotta find it. Because I want to watch that again. I didn't see Quantum. I did play the games though. I remember when those came out back when I was in high school, and it was like a really big deal back then. I mean, all my buddies and I were like, "Oh, you gotta play this game," and blah blah blah. I mean, I actually had the first two. I didn't finish them.
Yeah, I finished the first one, and I really liked the first one. And I'm surprised you didn't finish it because I think I finished it in about 25 hours or so.
Well, no, it's not that I didn't. I probably said that wrong. I finished the games. I just didn't finish the series.
Oh, okay.
Because there's 4 games.
Yeah, and I only played the first one, and I always wanted to go back and play the other ones, and never did, and every time I was at like GameStop or somewhere, I was like, I would see like 2 or 3, and I was like, I gotta pick this up because I'm never gonna find it, and now I never did, and now it's just like I'm looking for them, and now they're like, fuck, they're like $70 to $100 for one, and I'm like, fucking shit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those are the games where you absolutely have to play them in sequence because it's imperative that you carry over your save game. You can play them without it, but it's just total ass.
Well, that and when you play the later games, you're definitely going to probably want your characters that are leveled up already. Because I know towards the end of that I almost said Persona, that first Dot Hack game, I mean, my characters are pretty beefy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. By the second one, I mean mine were pretty well off to do.
And that was when I was like in the heyday of really getting into MMOs. So playing a game like that, like a role playing game, where you're playing like a role playing game and then you play an MMO within the game, was just to me like the coolest thing in the world. I was like,
you're like, oh,
it's so insane. So, all right, let's get on to Dead or Alive 5 Plus, because we are already at our hour mark, and we're close. We're going to be a little bit more. All right, so you bought another game rather than downloading it.
Yes, I did. So I've always been a big Dead or Alive fan.
Okay.
I think the first one I played was Dead or Alive Ultimate on the Xbox. I had like the collector's edition. I had Dead or Alive 2 and Dead or Alive Ultimate. I think that was what was there.
I think I played one on the Xbox, and I think I played one on the 360.
Yeah. So I saw Dead or Alive 5 was originally out for the 360 and the PS3, and I always wanted to play it, and I just never got around to it. And then I saw that they have 5 Plus for the Vita, and I'm like, done. I love the game. We'll put aside the obvious, gratuitous women setup in Team Ninja games. they're very well known for it. It's just something that's there in the game. And speaking
they're very
of which,
well known for their physics.
well, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because there actually is a setting in DOA 5 Plus to change the physics settings. Like you can change them to normal or what's called DOA, which is the completely ridiculous one where they're like smacking each other in the face.
That's fucking awesome.
And dude, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So this game, I have never wanted to put my Vita through a wall as much as I did when I played this game on Legend mode, which is the hardest one.
Okay, well, considering you've had your Vita for a whole 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Okay. Compare it to your PSP.
My PSP I've had forever. And
were there any games that you wanted to put that through the wall?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, no, the third birthday on the hardest difficulty, yeah. That's made me pretty angry. The problem with Dead or Alive 5 Plus is that when you have it on that high of a difficulty, the AI is so ready to rape you. And they carefully time every hit, so the hit you stagger. The AI will wait until the very end of your stagger, like just before you come out of it, to hit you again and restart it over. So they chain like 13 hit combos and pin you against the fucking wall, and there's nothing you can do about it except for like literally the one time I set the Vita down with my hand up, like face palming, and I'm just listening to me get raped. And
that's awesome.
I was so pissed, so fucking pissed. But that being said, it's a great game. I love it. I'm just not gonna put my Vita through a wall, I hope.
Yeah, yes. I'm kind of the same way with Spelunky. I picked up Spelunky during that sale, and Spelunky is one of those games where I'm just not very good at it. And I just need to play it more to get better at it, and I just realize it's just going to the learning curve on that thing and just figuring out is just I have a feeling once it clicks it's going to be like, okay, and I'll enjoy it. I have to say I'm enjoying it now.
Right.
But I am dying a fucking hell of a lot, and I don't last very long.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you really got to practice with DOA. The moves are extremely difficult to pull off. A lot of the really complicated moves are extremely hard to pull off. But the more you practice at it, the better you get. It just doesn't make it any easier. That's the problem. Because no matter, I'm firmly convinced, no matter how much you practice, you will never be good enough to do what the AI does on Legend. And if you are, dude, you're a fucking beast.
Well, there are probably a couple of people out there that can do it.
I want to meet them. I want to meet these people. I want to see them play this. Because that's insane.
I'm sorry, have you looked at YouTube to see if there are any run-throughs or something on Legendary? I bet you there has to be somebody out there with some sort of video somewhere playing it.
It's probably going to be some Korean kid who does nothing with his life except for play DOA 5.
Hey, that could be you.
That could be me. That's gonna be me with Persona, dude. That's all I'm gonna do is just play Persona all day.
All right, what's your last story here?
I finally got. I ordered this like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This was the one that you had to go to the post office to get.
Yep, this little bad boy right here. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Chocolate. Yes.
Yes. This actually came in from Thailand, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
But it is the original JP with English subtitles. Well, it's got English, Japanese, and it's strange. It came from Thailand, but it has English, Japanese, and Korean subtitles.
Subtitles, does it also have English dub, or is it just subtitle only?
No, it's subtitle only.
Okay.
It's the original. It's the OVA. That is a deceptively good show. There's only 12 episodes. Each episode's like 22 to 24 minutes long, so you can finish it in a day, which I did. And it just surprises me how well this is done. That anime is based off of a visual novel of the same name, but it's more or less how the visual novel would have played out if you did the canonical ending, not like the 16 different people you could date or whatever. You know what I mean? The story's really interesting. These kids have so much power at their school, so much political power at their school. You would never see this in real life. Never see this in real life. I mean, these kids they're raising their own money. They're voting to become presidents of the school. They're telling adults what to do and all this other shit. But there's some really dark elements to that story. Like the one girl has a serious, serious mental problem. Like her little brother got hit by a car.
Oh, wow.
When they were younger, he got hit by a car after she told him he wasn't going to buy chocolate or something like that. So she had this complex where she wouldn't eat chocolate. But she made this guy that she likes inadvertently start taking her dead brother's place, and she would do that by giving him chocolate repeatedly throughout their lives. So the story kind of evolved into like working her out of that, which was really insane. Really insane.
I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah, I picked that up on eBay for, what did I pay for that? I think $30, I want to say. Definitely worth it. But the problem is, you buy something from over there, and it's going to be a month before you get it.
Yeah.
Which is actually what it was. It was like a month, and then the fucking post office wouldn't leave it at my door.
That sucks.
Dicks. I had to go there on a Saturday to get that. And then they were like, I showed them my ID, and they're like, they were having trouble figuring out that I was me. I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
But I stood there for like 2 minutes trying to tell them, no, this is me. I want my fucking package. Just give it to me. So I got it, and I brought it home, and we're all happy. So yeah, I definitely recommend that one. It's in my top list of favorite animes.
Cool. Sounds interesting.
Get it, dude.
All right, so under what I want to play now, we are close to the end of the show. Stewie, do not knock that off of there.
I heard a cat.
Yeah, well, that was a cat. That was Stewie. Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. This is coming out on the Vita, which I am totally stoked for. This is a game that's similar to Ace Attorney. I'm ignoring you. This is a game that's similar to like Ace Attorney. It looks anime style. It just looks cool from what I've seen about it. I'm not very familiar with this story or with anything about this. It sounds like there has been one released already, I believe, on the PSP over in Japan.
Yeah,
they're bringing it over to the US now.
You were saying that name earlier, and it sounded familiar after you said it was dropped on the PSP before. I don't know, man. I'm excited by Vita games in general. I just want to see more of them.
I agree with you. And this one, I've always wanted to play some of the Ace Attorney series, and since I never really had a true Nintendo until like super, super late that I was given, and then I never bought any games for it. I kind of wanted to play a game. I kind of wanted to play a game like this.
Since we hate Nintendo.
No, Nintendo has a special place in our hearts.
The deep recesses.
The next game that I thought was rather interesting. Last week, my Twitter feed was and my Google Plus feed was kind of going crazy with a little game called Cat Lateral Damage. This may be dead already. Who the fuck knows? It may be, yeah, it may be dead and over with. It's a Unity-based game. You play on your browser, and you basically just first-person view, and when you press your left or right mouse button, a paw comes out, and you can knock things off of shelves, desks, tables, etc. And you basically have a couple of minutes to knock as much stuff onto the ground as you can, as fast as you can, and get as high as a score as you can.
Dude, you know what would have been the most fucking pimp bonus level for this? Cat toilet paper destruction.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
that would be so awesome.
That's true. That would have been a good one. So it looks like this is a Steam Greenlight game for Greenlight.
What?
So you could probably vote for Cat Lateral Damage and get it on Steam.
Awesome.
So I played it a little bit. I want to go back and play it a little bit more. It was interesting. It was neat. It was a stupid little web-based game.
Kind of like Candies.
Yeah, basic. Yes, kind of like Candies, which I think I still have one running on my wife's laptop, and it's been running for days.
Are you
It's
kidding?
been running for days. I just had the browser opened up, and her laptop's just been running, and I haven't even looked at it.
Oh my god, dude! I closed that tab like weeks ago, man.
I almost made it through hell once.
I
came close to making it through hell. Actually, I had so much health. I actually was almost able to do it.
How much hit points did you have?
Oh, I don't even know.
How many?
Dude, I put in so many millions into my health to have like thousands of health, like 3,000, 3,500.
Yeah, so let me make note of that really quick. If you really ate that much candy IRL, you would not gain health.
Well, yeah, you'd probably be a little sick, but you know what? It's a game. Why you harshing my buzz, man? Why are you taking the game away from me?
That's what I do, Joe. I'm a destroyer of dreams.
All right, so last game that I want to play, one that I actually saw on my Twitter feed today. I can't remember what game place posted it. I don't know if it was IGN or who had posted it. I can't remember. Monster Monpiece, headed to Europe and North America. It's a card battle game, anime style. Now, from what I've read about this thing, you will need to go out here, Greg, and watch the video.
Okay.
It's rather adult, I've heard. I've heard several of the characters in the game will not be coming over to the U.S. version. I heard you actually hold your Vita vertically and have to rub the screen.
What?
Did I stutter? Did I stutter?
I'm just trying. I'm trying to think of how awkward that would look.
Yeah. Playing this one around the wife is going to be really interesting to explain. But when I saw it was a card battle game, I was like, oh, sweet, a card battle game. I like card battle games.
Where you rub your screen.
There was a card battle game out on the PS2 and on the 360, and I picked it up for both of them, where it was kind of like Magic and Monopoly all together into one, called Sept.
I've heard of that one.
Did you ever play that one? I picked it up on the PS2 originally and really enjoyed it and played it a lot, and actually bought Called Sept. I can't remember what the name was on the 360, but bought it on the 360 as well and played the hell out of it. It's kind of like basically like Magic the Gathering and Monopoly rolled together into one, is the way the game plays. It's really, really cool. So when I saw a card game battle coming out for the Vita, I was like, outstanding. I love card games. I used to love Magic the Gathering. A card battle game sounds really, really cool. When I read this, I was like, wow, I don't know how I'm going to play this around my wife. So, I don't know.
She was sitting there going, yes.
It looks interesting. Watch the YouTube video on it is all I can tell you, and we can talk about this at a later time.
Oh my god.
So.
Why is it starting to sound like we're preparing for like the off-camera conversation?
I have
Now,
no idea.
now, kids, you can't play this game.
Well, when I was reading the one article and they said they actually removed some of the characters because the content was too adult for the U.S., I was like, really?
Yeah, but what's their definition of too adult? I mean, is it just like boobs? Yeah, what do they mean by that?
I have no idea. I will have to find some more articles about this and do a little more research into it, but I have no idea. I will have to do some research for the website. So somehow we are actually close to being on time, hour 15 minutes.
That's not on time. We don't have a set time, Joe. There is no set time.
We don't have a set time, but we're usually like an hour and 7 or 8 minutes, so we went a little longer. We knew we would.
No, I'm more interested in the file size. I'm looking at 1 3/4 gigs right now. That's and see, if I were doing this on the sad thing is if I were recording that in Audacity, my system would have tanked by now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's
right.
A scary thought.
We are at the end of another show. We will be back again next Monday, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock, with another episode. We will be in double digits, episode 10. I wish we wouldn't have skipped last week, and I need to get back to the site, but with the sick dog still being here with me and I'm taking care of him, that's pretty much life right now.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, you know?
Yep. So pretty much everything else has kind of been on hold, so I apologize to everybody for the site. My wife says it kind of sucks. I started all this stuff, and he got sick, and we pretty much haven't done much else. So, but kick us an email if you want to tell us anything. What I'm playing now at gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. What I'm playing now. Drop the G. Check out our website. whatimPlayingNow.com.
Tell us how much you hate Sony whores.
What I was actually thinking about writing a couple more reviews. I was maybe going to write one for Zen Pinball. I don't think I'm not gonna do one for Gone Home, but I was thinking about writing a pinball one because I have played a shitload of pinball, and I've played the pinball game across multiple systems. So
Right.
I played it on the PS3, I played it on the 360, and I played it on the PS4. And I do really like the PS4 version of not only Zen Pinball but the other Pinball Arcade. I really like the way the bumpers and the way the flippers and everything just respond. I think that's the tightest integration to most feel and best looking games on the PS4 so far out of all of them.
I got some stuff I got to put up there too. I mean, I got a review for Persona 4 and Persona 3 Portable as well.
Cool. Cool.
I was really holding off on putting that P4 review up because I wasn't entirely too sure where you had gotten, and I didn't want to put any spoilers in there, so I was just kind of...
You can go ahead and put it up there. I just will not read it. I am sorry. I will read it after I'm done with the game.
No, dude, that's completely fine. That's the reason why I wasn't putting it up there. I'm like, well, for the very reason what happened today, so I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to have to refrain from asking questions because I'll be... That was so funny today. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me anymore.
I'm sorry, man.
It's completely fine. Completely fine. I'm sure you didn't spoil anything. So
you brought it on yourself, though. In all fairness.
Whatever. All right, we are at another end of an episode. Everybody, keep playing and let us know what you are playing now. We will catch you later. Have a good one.